We're always told that if we just plan carefully, we can manage risk and pretty much predict what's coming next. But what if the very rules of randomness have changed? Today, we're going to dig into why our modern, connected world is way less predictable than we think and what that actually means for you and me. Okay, so take a look at these two graphs. On the left, you've got that familiar, gentle bell curve. On the right, something totally different, a steep, dramatic cliff. One of these basically shows the predictable world we built all our systems on. The other, well, that's the chaotic, outlier-driven world we're living in right now. By the end of this, you're going to know exactly which is which and why it matters so much. All right, so to figure out those graphs, we first have to get our heads around two very different kinds of randomness. Let's start with the one that feels the most natural, the one we see all around us in the world. This is what's called a normal distribution. You know it as the classic bell curve. The key thing to get here is that pretty much everything clumps together right around the average. Extreme results, super rare. And that makes the whole system incredibly stable and, well, predictable. Just think about things in the natural world. Human height, right? Or how much it rains in a year. Or even tiny defects coming off a factory line. Sure, they all vary, but they vary within limits we can basically understand. You're just not going to wake up tomorrow and find a person who's 50 feet tall. It's not how this world works. And this predictability is a huge deal because it means you can actually plan for it. You know the limits, the bounds of what might happen. That's exactly why methods like Six Sigma in manufacturing are so powerful. They work because they're plain in a world where things behave normally. It's a world where risk is manageable. But here's the catch. That predictable world, it isn't really where most of us live and work anymore. Now we're diving into the second kind of randomness, the one that really defines our modern lives. So, welcome to the power law. This is the absolute game changer. The moment we humans start adding layers of complexity, I'm talking global networks, financial leverage, and insane technology, that gentle bell curve doesn't just bend, it completely shatters. The fundamental rules of randomness get rewritten from the ground up. And this new game is now running some of the most important parts of our world. Think about it. How wealth is distributed, which startups make it big, how far a post on social media travels, what the stock market does. None of this stuff follows a nice, neat bell curve. It's all driven by the power law. And what that means is that those wild, extreme outlier events become way more common. Why? It's simple, really. It's because in a network, success creates more success. A video that gets popular gets recommended more, which gets it more views, which leads to even more recommendations. It's a feedback loop that creates absolute giants and leaves pretty much everyone else in the dust. Let's make this real for a second. In the world of YouTube, a single creator can pull in 100 million views on one video. 100 million. Meanwhile, 99% of other creators are getting next to nothing. The average number of views becomes a totally meaningless number because it's completely warped by that one massive outlier. And this right here just lays it all out perfectly. You've got nature's randomness on one side, predictable, bounded, and then you have human randomness, the power law, unpredictable and totally driven by wild outliers. In the old world, the average was your friend, a useful guide. In our new world, relying on the average can be a really dangerous mistake. So, what are the real-world consequences of living in a world run by these unpredictable outliers? Well, we have a name for them: Black Swan events. A black swan is that thing that comes out of left field, has a massive, world-changing impact, and then everybody looks back and tries to explain it as if we should have seen it coming all along. It's the scary, real-world version of a power law outlier coming to life. And here's the part that should really get your attention. Our interconnected, high-tech world is making these black swan events the new normal, not some rare exception. Our systems are becoming so fragile that we have to start expecting the completely unexpected. And this isn't just some abstract theory. These are very real possibilities. A conflict over Taiwan? It's not just about land anymore. It's about who controls the entire planet's supply of AI chips. An AI bubble bursting? It could make the dot-com crash look like a small bump in the road. And a major Amazon Web Services outage? A few hours of that could bring the biggest companies in the world to their knees. The impact is just magnified. Okay, so the world is unpredictable, it's fragile. It's kind of an unsettling picture, isn't it? So the natural question is, what on earth do we do about it? How do we navigate this? The answer, it turns out, requires a totally new way of thinking, one that goes way beyond just trying to survive. So let's bring this home. For you, for me, for any regular person or business trying to make their way through this chaos, what's the best defense against these massive shocks? The traditional answer has always been to be robust. Build strong systems, save up an emergency fund, basically create something that can take a punch and still be standing. Robustness is all about resistance. But here's the question we have to ask now. In a world where the punches are coming faster and hitting harder, is just surviving really the best we can hope for? Is there another way to play this game? And that brings us to this incredibly powerful idea, antifragility. This isn't just about being tough or robust, it's the true opposite of being fragile. See, an antifragile system doesn't just withstand shocks, it actually gets stronger from them. Think about your muscles when you work out. The stress tears them down a little, and they grow back stronger. That is antifragility. It's a complete mindset shift to not just endure chaos, but to actually use it as fuel. So, we'll leave you with this final thought. In a world that's defined by the power law and black swans, the ultimate challenge isn't about how you can avoid all the risk. It's about how you can embrace it. How can you set up your life, your career, your business, so that you don't just survive the randomness, but you actually profit from the chaos?